ABC Big Star 1000 with Gimme 10 2005. This is a video response to Chris 417 Baskets. I'll put the link down below. And tonight, change of scenery. I'm in my lounge, living room, because my wife is using the study at the moment, where I normally shoot my videos. So I thought, once in a while it's cool to have the records as a backdrop, and there's a few of the nice VCLT I received yesterday and the day before from Mike, Boston, and Reggie, and Doctor Strangely Strange, which feature behind me. As usual, 10 records, 11 records with the one that I'm listening to. I chose to put on the Lies, Drums Not Dead in the background. Fantastic record, highly recommended, and it could have featured in my 10, but 2005 was a magnificent year for music. Dare I say, a lot of the records that I've chosen to feature fall under the same sort of category of indie rock, indie folk. But if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. So Drums Not Dead by The Lies is their best album for sure. It's sensational. It's kind of experimental rock, post-punk, neo-post-punk kind of. It's a really superb record, and this was a sample, like an early sample copy, which I've had basically since it came out. Highly recommended. Take a sip, and then I'll get going. So, 2005, lots of really great records. Now, I don't know where to start. Well, I'll start with the classic of 2005, which is Come and Feel the Illinois by Sufjan Stevens. Well, dare I say, this record really is, the sound of 2005, basically. It was everywhere. It's a wonderful record. Again, I'm going to drop the label indie folk a lot during this video, but this comes to mind, sort of a folky, kind of folk pop approach. If you're not familiar with Sufjan Stevens, he's a songwriter from I think he is from Chicago, or either from Michigan or from Illinois. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he's from Chicago. And no, actually wrong, he's from Detroit. There you go. So he's from Detroit, and he had this 50 states project, which basically involved making an album for each state of America. And he did two, Michigan and Illinois, so far. And this is fantastic. I don't think he'll get to 50 states. I actually saw this tour, this Illinois tour in Melbourne. It was superb. They came all dressed with angel wings, and Saint Vincent was part of the band too. It's great. Alifaka Toure and Tumani Diabate in the Heart of the Moon. This is a simply superb record. It's an African masterpiece. I've spoken about this many times, and I will keep speaking about it. It's on the world circuit. Alifaka Toure is a now deceased Malian. They're both from Mali, actually. Guitar player, and Tumani Diabate is still alive. He's a kora player, which is a string instrument from Mali, beautiful sounding. This is what I call cosmic African music, really. the notes kind of resonate into infinity. It's just a magical sort of cosmic African cosmic blues records. It's kind of like crowd rock minus electronics. you know, it's just so beautiful. It's amazing. Uh, the highest possible recommendation. Continuing with our fantastic records by Bill Callahan. Bill Callahan was known as Smog for a long time, and the last record he made under the name Smog is this one, A River Ain't Too Much to Love, and it's also my favorite Bill Callahan / Smog record. I think he must have retired the name Smog after he made this record, because he just couldn't do a better album under that name. Just start all over again. It's not true, but this is fantastic. There's several classic from the opener, and you got Save Valley Maker, The Well, Rock Bottom Riser. If you want to hear something from this, listen to Rock Bottom Riser. I Feel Like the Mother of the World, In the Pines. All the songs are fantastic. Just largely, sort of nylon string guitar affair. Very quiet, very hushed, but the lyrics are hilarious, and it's just a great piece of music. Smog. And I mean, I love Bill Callahan. Again, I saw this guy around that time in Melbourne, and he was doing the support act for Joanna Newsom. It's very good, very cool. Here is a fantastic Baroque pop record, modern Baroque pop record. It's Andrew Bird and the Mysterious Production of Eggs. I don't think I've ever shown this record on the VC for some reason. I just realized now that, or maybe I have, but a long time ago. This is a fabulous record. Andrew Bird is a Chicago singer-songwriter. He is the best whistler in indie music, by a country mile. So this is it's just a fantastic collection of kind of Baroque indie pop, and with sort of, there's a lot of classical backing instrumentation. Andrew Bird plays the violin. You should watch, if you've got a minute. There's a TED Talk, which they kind of, these sort of ideas talk. It's called TED Talk on Andrew Bird, and he does this. He's got this loop pedal, and he plays the violin and he whistles. It's just magical. It's brilliant. This is a classic. Highly recommended. Every song, it's a 10. This is a 10. It's a magical record. Andrew Bird and the Mysterious Production of Eggs. It is on Grimsby Records. You can order these, I think, off Andrew Bird's website. I think at the time you could anyway. At the time I bought this, I mean. Okay, continuing. Here is a fantastic. Again, I'm going to drop the tag indie folk record, but this is fantastic. This is absolutely to die for, this record. This is the Decembrists, and the album is called Picaresque. Decembrists are, I think, a band from Portland. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel a Portland on this one. And they're led by a guy called Colin Meloy. And his voice is somewhat reminiscent of Jeff Mangum from Neutral Milk Hotel. Kind of like a a happier kind of neutral milk hotel sound. The instrumentation is fairly reminiscent of it too. There's lots of sort of banjos and horns and things like that. But what I love about these songs is the narratives. Lots of really interesting stories about everyday American life, but also some really twisted tales. Like the last song, no, the second last song actually is called the Mariner's Revenge Song. Basically, a song about a sailor whose mother was abused by another sailor, and he's traveling on the sea, and he meets him, he sees him, and he seeks revenge, and it's kind of gruesome. You listen to the lyrics, and it's just, you know, you the song goes on for a long time. This is a good example of his lyrics. This is the best Decembrists album. It's fantastic. Really, again, a very high recommendation for me. Um, the Dirty Three. This is Cinder. This is not the Dirty Three's best album, but it is an album that I like a lot. Champ Sound, Andrew, who made this fabulous Soul Sisters video the other day, he made a comment on one of my videos that he loves Cinder by the Dirty Three. I do too, actually. It's a very, very good record. While the Dirty Three, they're a post-rock act from Melbourne. And yes, comprising of Warren Ellis, Jim White and Mick Turner. And Mick Turner does all the paintings on the cover as well. And this is sort of elegant cinematic post-rock with violin, lots of violin, double LP, just kind of magical, sort of. I don't think the Dirty Three can make a bad album. They make albums that are less good than other albums, but they're not bad albums. Never. A nice little segue. There you go. This is a fantastic little record. Now, this does not exist on vinyl, so there you go. Is a good reason to buy a CD sometimes. This has got no title. This is Powell, David Powell, formerly of Slints and Tortoise, and a Louisville, Kentucky legend. There you go, David Christian Powell. This is simply self-titled Powell, P-A-J-O, and it is his self-titled debut album, although he made albums under the name Ariel M and Papa M as well, which are solo records, but this is his proper solo record, first record under his name, 2005. This is what I'd call laptop folk music, or as they like to call it, like folktronica, but I think this is a stupid label, folktronic. I can't even say it. It's just so stupid. This is laptop folk. This is folk music, sort of melodic, acoustic music played on, using, electronic effects from. I mean, he did this on his laptop, where basically he just recorded, and he put some, background effects. Beautiful music, very ethereal, and there's a great song called High Lonesome Moan on it, which is second track in High Lonesome Moan, which, if you have a minute, just listen to that. It's fantastic. Powell. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'll try and be quick and finish off. This was a bit of a sensation in 2005 when it came out. It was a self-released album. The band's called Clap Your Hands, Say Yay. I'm sure some of you would have listened to this album. This is the self-released CD, which then was released on the proper label. I can't remember who released it, but at the time you could only get it from the band's website. They're kind of a sensation at the time. Again, I'm going to drop the name Jeff Mangum, and the other things that comes to mind when you think of Clap Your Hands is Talking Heads. So imagine Talking Heads fronted by Jeff Mangum, and that gives you the idea. You know, Talking Heads meets Neutral Milk Hotel, kind of twisted as well in song format, and really, really. I mean, it's really engaging music. I mean, at the time, I really thought it was a great album. I must say, I haven't played this for a long time, but I had to include it in this list because I think it's a great record. I saw this band live a couple of years back, and I wasn't impressed at all. It was at a festival, but at the time when they released this album, Clap Your Hands, Say Yay. That's the name of the band. Clap Your Hands, Say Yay. It's a great album at the time. So, and a recent acquisition, which I have to include because it's a wonderful record. It's Matt Sweeney and Bunny Prince Billy, Superwolf. I mean, you know, what can I say? Bunny Prince Billy, spoken enough about Bunny Prince Billy. Uh, this is a really, really great record. I bought this this year. So I didn't discover it in 2005, but I still include it because I think it's worth sort of alternative country, sort of, oh yeah, that's the best tag I can give it. It's fantastic. So there you go, 10 great records. Leave me some comments, and until next time, VC.